So this year is a pretty pivotal, pivotal,
I like it. Pivotable.
pivotable
You should put
opportunity.
that
I
word
should
in
use
your
pivotable
pivotable.
for our company. And the reason is our service is different because Mark, your nephew, has retired from this version of his pool career to go on to other things. So that means a lot of the service is back on us, in-house, meaning you. And the other thing that's happening this season is the pinnacle project of your pool career is coming up. And I'm talking about the Streets of Mackinac pool build experience. I would like your thoughts as we are at the very beginning of this pool season. We've just started pool openings, finishing up some build from last year, and looking at what the future holds. Just some thoughts and observations on the Streets of Mackinac project, because back in the day you would have dreamt about what would the ultimate project look like and feel like, and here we are in the front
Crossroads.
of this project coming up. What are some of your thoughts and observations about the Streets of Mackinac pool?
Well, one of the things that's been very interesting. Mark grew with us. I had this conversation at the supplier today. Joe was asking what was going on, and I said, "Well, we lost Mark, yeah." And so we were talking, and then Jim happened to come around the corner and was asking some questions, and I said, Mark's been with me for 20 years probably. And so he grew from that very basic to the very complex, and he grew through all those layers in between. And I said, I can't just go find someone to learn that, because there's nowhere. There's no school, there's no anything that's going to teach people how to get right to this point. I said, so that's why I find myself having to relook at what the future looks like for me, because service is a really profitable part of our company, and it's important because we're maintaining those relationships long term. What that's done, as I've witnessed going back now to all these amazing things that we've built, and we've built some crazy cool stuff. There's no doubt about it. And I get giddy when I think about how cool some of this stuff is. But what's going to be different about Mackinac, Streets of Mackinac, knowing that it's likely the last pool that I build personally, is I'm going to make 100% sure that everything I do is easy to maintain, because it's going to be very complicated just with everything that's going on there. This is a very sizable project, but each pool that I've serviced now recently and opened and had to look at what my thinking was when I built it, I was doing the best that I could with the information that I had, and understanding that it was working, and they've worked, and we've been able to maintain them and take care of them, and Mark's been doing an incredible job taking care of all that stuff for so long. But when I look to the future, like, if I have to take care of all of those, how differently would I have done it so that it was easier? What extra steps am I going to take now to ensure that project, the legacy project of mine, is easy to take care of? That's been a big thing, is how different my approach is for that. And also how much more methodical my approach is, because it's like the last time I get to do this. Now, who knows? Maybe I'll build something in the future, but my favorite part, as cool as it is to find great materials and do amazing things with them, my favorite part is still structurally understanding how we're going to keep it standing, how we're going to keep it together, and how I'm going to start way underground and build this thing up and get this thing to float in the air and to stay and to do all of that. And so now I'm mentally even more methodical about that, because I'm trying to make it last. I'm trying to get that feeling to last about what it means to tear into the ground and then to build up from somewhere else. Because while I was doing that in the past, I always had the next one. I always had the next one that was already noodling my mind how I was going to do something. Because if you think about all the past years, there's always been the next project. Well, now I'm at the point where there's not a next project. So what does this one look like? And what are all the pieces, and what do they need to be to really satisfy me? It's no longer getting it done so that we can move on to the next. Now it's like, how is it really going to satisfy me to get it done in the best way that it can be done? So that's been a really eye-opening, emotional slash feeling my way through what the future looks like, and that's been a big piece of it. So I don't know if I answered any of the question you started with, but that's kind of where I'm at.